Hey everybody. It was on June 30th of 2019 when a young woman, 19 years old at the time, posted a video of herself being confronted in the bathroom of a North Carolina church about what she was wearing for her performance at the service. The woman confronting her, who donned a now notorious red dress, very bright red dress, accused her of wearing inappropriate clothing for church, and even stated that the clothing she'd chosen, which, as it turns out, were just jean shorts, was inappropriate because of the young woman's body weight. As anyone who's seen this clip will remember, the girl records herself arguing heatedly with the woman between sobs and gasps of disbelief. Well, luckily for us, we have had some updates on what happened to everyone involved, and we're going to get to all that in just a moment. But first, this is the clip that started it all.
She's a chubby girl. She's got a dress on that's appropriate. It comes down to about top of her knees.
So you're sitting here calling me fat?
Oh, you don't think you are?
No, because I love who I am. I'm sorry. No,
You
get the
can,
out of my face.
I don't have to. And don't swear at me like that.
I don't give a shit.
I do. That's your problem. I do give a shit. But you don't. Obviously. Don't come back on that stage with those shorts. I'm warning you.
Who are you? Who are you?
You can read my name.
Why, yes, in fact, we can read your name, Bonnie.
I see that. But who are you to tell me what I'm supposed to
Lower
do?
your
No,
voice.
get the out of my face.
Quit swearing at me.
Get out.
Don't.
I am 19 years old and I can do whatever I want.
Really?
Yes.
Try it.
Okay. Bye. 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 Because guess what? I've been recording this entire thing and I will show my parents that I will never come back to this church because of how much you are disrespectful. You are so disrespectful. She called me fat. She called me fat.
Go in the bathroom. Go in the bathroom.
She is in there swearing.
The 19-year-old, well, I guess now 23-year-old, who posted this video is named Jenna Munger, and she posted it to Twitter with an original caption that read, "This woman followed me into the bathroom and attacked me, calling me fat and that I couldn't wear jean shorts because I was fat." That same day, she also wrote that later, she was telling everyone that this was my fault, that I will never get back up on that stage to sing again. She tweeted, "I should feel accepted and loved, and now I don't want to go back to that church. I love singing in the contemporary band with my friends and being up on stage and praising God with other people." So from this, we learn that the on-stage performance, right, being referenced by our Karen in the video, is a vocal performance that Jenna was giving as part of the church's contemporary band.
Jenna Munger is known at Swansboro United Methodist Church for her beautiful voice. But when she left the stage to check on a loved one's health using her phone, she says a woman from the audience followed her to the bathroom and shamed her for wearing shorts.
She had gotten up from her seat from out in the audience and had followed me in there.
She also revealed that she was in a heightened emotional state at the time of the incident, and she had actually gone to the bathroom in the first place to place a call to check on her 16-year-old cousin, who she had just learned had a seizure as a result of a brain aneurysm. So an extremely serious thing had just happened to a young family member of hers. She was worried. She was upset. She goes to the bathroom to make a call and check on how they're doing, and then has to deal with this lady. Jenna also shared a picture of what she was actually wearing that day. And this was a big question everyone had at the time, right? Whether most people obviously did not side with Red Dress Lady, but they still, people were curious. What was all this hullabaloo about? What was she wearing even? Most guessed that it couldn't possibly have been anything all that risque, certainly not enough to judge her this harshly and bring her to tears like this. But actually, the clothing is even more innocuous than I had initially guessed. This, believe it or not, is the outfit that she wore that day that caused this big international incident at church. I can hardly believe it, but yes, this was all that it was. I haven't personally attended church in some time, full disclosure, but it's very hard to imagine that this would have fit most modern Americans' interpretations of risque by any means, and regardless of body type. The video obviously sparked a lot of outrage, with nearly everyone sympathizing with Jenna, and she received thousands of comments as the video went viral from Twitter users, offering words of encouragement and even sharing their own stories of nightmare people at their own churches who had done similar things to this. Jenna also added some details that maybe make it more understandable why, I mean, this would affect really anybody who had any kind of sensitivity about their weight, right? But why this was so particularly jarring for her to experience. She said, "I was having a bad time at college. I gained a lot of weight." Munger said the incident was particularly painful because she had recently lost more than 30 pounds through healthy eating after struggling with depression, ADD, and a thyroid condition during said college period. Munger said the same woman, our red dress lady, had previously complained about her wearing shorts to the church's band director.
Jenna says the incident was particularly painful because she had recently lost more than 30 pounds through healthy eating.
I was having a bad time at college. I gained a lot of weight. I later to come find out that I have hypothyroidism, and then I also have ADD.
Jenna says the same woman had previously complained about her wearing shorts to the church's band director.
I have always struggled with my weight for like the entire time I've been alive for now. And it's always been up and down and up and down. And so like hearing that from someone who is either equally the same weight or even a little bit bigger than me, looking at me and saying, "You're fat, fat girls don't wear shorts," it was like, what?
And we can hear this in the video, right? She goes out and she's telling the other people, she called me fat. And the way that she inflects that me, you know that she's saying, you know, not only is this insanely inappropriate to have happen in the first place, but the hypocrisy involved here is equally jarring. And you can, like, that's really the only reason she would have inflected the sentence that way. So the woman who was caught on camera, the woman in the red dress here, is named Bonnie Sue Bihari. Bihari? We're going to call her Bihari. And she was a delegate of the North Carolina Conference of the United Methodist Church. This particular incident took place at the Swansboro Methodist Church, one of the conference's locations. It wasn't clear in the immediate aftermath of this video whose side the church's officials were going to take on this, but on July 2nd, 3 days after the viral clip was posted on Twitter, the Swansboro Methodist Church released a statement and subsequent Facebook post, both of which said, "Dear friends of Swansboro United Methodist Church and the surrounding community, this afternoon, I, members of the staff, and other church leaders met with Mrs. Bonnie Sue Bihari to address the incident that occurred this past Sunday. First and foremost, Miss Bonnie Sue Bihari is a church member, not an employee. Secondly, as a result of our discussions this afternoon, she has voluntarily resigned as the lay delegate to the North Carolina Conference of the United Methodist Church and agreed to step down from any committee leadership roles she volunteered for within our church. We continue to focus on caring for everyone involved in this incident and their families. Please pray for safety and emotional healing for everyone involved, and may we show the love of Christ through our words and actions as we navigate through this together as a church family and community partner. Grace and peace, Pastor G. Kevin Baker." So the church decided right out of the gate, it seems, after taking a couple days to review the incident, to take Jenna Munger's side of this conflict. And Bonnie Bihari was forced to surrender her appointments as a result. I know that this letter said that she stepped down voluntarily, but given Bonnie's predisposition and hesitance to admit she was in the wrong, and actually her total insistence that she was in the right, I have a strong suspicion that she was, let's say, coaxed into stepping down from these roles. Jenna was also sure to emphasize that she didn't want any abusive behavior, to her credit, aimed at Bonnie, even urging them to stop the internet, by them, to stop harassing the woman despite all the grief she'd caused her, even making it apparent that she'd forgiven by Harry for the incident. But the reason I wanted to make this video was because in 2021, and a lot of people who were following the original story might have missed this, but the video resurfaced on Reddit. It blew up all over again, prompting Jenna herself to post follow-up information about what had happened since. And I know how many people were outraged by this video and thought you'd all appreciate the tea, really. So Jenna posted new videos to Twitter on an account that's since been deleted along with all those videos, and told us several new pieces of information. First, she says that after the incident, she decided to stop going back to that church, or any church for that matter, and that she'd been taking some time to discover herself instead. But she also said that she was still on good terms with her pastors and church leadership, who she described as nothing but supportive throughout the incident, and stressed that Bonnie's own behavior was not a reflection of the other church leaders' characters. She apparently even reached out to the Swansboro Methodist Church when the video started to recirculate to warn them of the new wave of angry and aggressive comments from outraged internet people that sympathized with Jenna's plight. She even posted a video to Twitter, again now deleted along with the rest, titled "An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind," where she stressed that she doesn't condone any of the abusive behavior directed at the church or even Bonnie herself, though she stressed that she believes in holding people accountable, hence why she published the video in the first place. "I just want people to take away that I'm okay," she said, "and that this situation happens every day and not a lot of people have the chance to record that." But most interestingly of all, she offered a brief update on Bonnie. Apparently, and I found this rather juicy myself, but after Bonnie was, in my opinion, forced to resign from all her leadership roles within the church, she attempted to try and get in close with Jenna's family. "As for Bonnie Sue, I don't really know what's going on in her life," Jenna had said, "but I will say that she's been trying to push my family's buttons and did try to get close with them and interact with them the past few years. But," she said, "I think she's finally gotten it, that we don't want anything to do with her." So after this all went down, Bonnie actually attempted to, from what it sounds like, cozy up to Jenna's family. She also uses the term push their buttons, though, which has a totally different connotation from cozy up, which means that Bonnie either tried to get close to the family or she tried to aggravate them and come at them about this incident. But I think that the first is probably more likely. So maybe it was some misguided attempt to make nice, or it was a play to try and cut into the amount of hostility she was facing from a family that it sounds like was very ingratiated into this church community. It also sounds like the family told her to piss off, and frankly, I think that was probably the right thing to do. Really, all in all here, though, it seems like Jenna actually took this really negative experience and made the best that she could out of it, I'd say, right? She seems like she's doing fairly well through all this.
Jenna has used it as an opportunity to remind everyone to love their bodies.
It's hard to sit there and say, do I love what I look like? And do I love the clothes that I wear? Because it's hard. It's hard to find that stuff. And so always remember that you are loved.
Well, that's our story for today. Leave your reckoning mendations below. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you didn't, tell me why so I can get better. All right, see ya.